Have you ever had somebody come into your life and totally change your perspective on things? That happened to me a few years ago. I grew up in a family of 6. Myself, my mom and my dad, my older sister Ariel, and 2 younger siblings, Alex and Amelia. For the majority of my life, that's all I knew. Our home was pretty chaotic at times, but we had a routine set, and we were all used to the way things were. But then, my grandma got sick and was no longer able to take care of my Uncle Larry, who has Down syndrome. She chose my parents to be his new guardians, and from there, he moved into our guest bedroom. By then my siblings and I were in middle school and high school, old enough that we were becoming more independent. But now that Uncle Larry was there, we had to learn to live with a person who required more attention. We had to make sure he had 3 meals a day, remember to use the bathroom once in a while, things like that. We didn't know how to react to some of his quirks, and we couldn't always understand the message he was trying to get across. I would sometimes feel frustration and self-pity, asking myself, why do we have to go through all this hard work to adjust our lives for this one person? At the time I didn't even realize that the situation was probably pretty frustrating for him too. To move from my grandma's house, which is always really peaceful, to our loud and busy house. Let's face it, we were a bunch of annoying kids. His sleep schedule was thrown off, and he was often in a bad mood for the first few months, because change is very confusing for him. Luckily, all it took was a bit of time for us to realize what a huge blessing Uncle Larry was, and is. In not much time at all, I forgot what it had been like to not have him living with us. We got into a new routine, and gladly included Uncle Larry into it. Now, he feels more like a brother to me, and it turns out he's one of my biggest role models. Uncle Larry treats every new person he meets like they're an old friend. He has a great sense of humor, and the little things in life are what make him smile from ear to ear. For example, this is a picture of him after his birthday party last year. He just sat in his chair and had the best time reading his cards over and over for days after his party. He loves his family unconditionally, and he's the best at cheering us up on a bad day. He gives the best hugs, and not to mention, he's one of the best dancers I know. Living with Uncle Larry has taught me about patience, unconditional love, and acceptance of all people. Sometimes, the most unexpected people can change you drastically for the better. Among all the important lessons Uncle Larry has taught me and my family, one of the most important ones is that different does not always mean bad.